Hansel and Gretel. Once upon a time, a poor woodcutter lived near a big woods with his wife and two children, a boy and a girl. The boy was called Hansel, and the girl Gretel. They never had nice things to eat. When there was a food shortage in the land, they could not even get bread one night. As the father lay in bed, he was very troubled. What will happen to us? How can we feed our little ones when we have nothing to eat ourselves? He asked his wife. Listen, answered his wife. Early tomorrow morning, we will take the children far into the woods. Light them a fire. Give each of them a piece of bread. But leave them alone. They will never find their way home and will not have to feed them anymore. No, wife, says a man. I can't do that. I cannot leave my two little children alone in the woods. They will probably be eaten by wild animals. Oh, said she. Then all four of us will die of hunger. Finally, the poor woodcutter agreed to her plan. The two children, however, were so hungry that they couldn't sleep. They had heard their stepmother's plan. Gretel said to Hansel, "We will die, dear brother." "Don't cry, Gretel," said Hansel. "I will make sure we don't die." When the old folks went to sleep, Hansel put on his coat and quietly went out the back door. The moon was shining brightly, and the white stone on the path in front of the house shone like silver coins. Hansel filled his pockets full of stones and returned to his room. "Don't be afraid, little sister," he said to Gretel. "God will not forget us. Now try to get some sleep." Usually the next day, the woman called the two children. "Get up, both of you," she said, "and come with us into the woods to gather sticks." She gave each to them a piece of bread and told them it was from dinner. She told them not to eat it because they would get nothing else. Soon, they left together for the woods. They had not gone far when Hansel stopped. He looked back at the house. He did this again and again. His father said, "Hansel, what are you looking at?" "Oh, father," said Gretel. I am looking at my white dog sitting on the roof and moving goodbye to me. That isn't your dog, you fool, said this stepmother. It's that morning sunlight. It's the morning sunlight sunshine on a stone. But Hansel had not really been looking at the dog. He was dropping the stone out of his pocket. When they come to the middle of the woods, the father said, "Now, children, gather a stick and we will make a fire." Hansel and Gretel gathered up many sticks, and when the fire was burning strongly, the woman said, "You can lie down by the fire and rest yourself while we go further to cut wood. When we have finished, we will come and get you." Hansel and Gretel sat by the fire. When dinner time came, they ate their bread. They could still hear the sound of wood being cut. They thought that their father was close by. However, their father had tied a branch to a tree every time the wind blew. They thought that their father was close by. However, their father had tied a branch to a tree. Every time the wind blew, the branch hit the tree. This was the noise the children heard. They were very tired, and soon they fell asleep in front of the fire. They did not wake up until it was night and very dark. Gretel began to cry and said, "We shall never find our way out of the woods." "Wait," said Hansel. "The moon will be up in a minute. They will find our way out quickly." Soon the great full moon rose in the sky, and Hansel took his little sister's hand and followed the stones. The stones shone brightly and showed them the way home. The children walked all night, and at dawn they reached their father's house. They knocked at the door, and when the woman opened it and saw Hansel and Gretel, she looked surprised. Then she quickly said, "Why did you sleep so long in the woods? We began to think you were not coming back at all." The father was delighted to see the children. He felt that it was wrong to leave them alone and helpless. A short time later, there was another food shortage. The children heard their stepbrother saying to their father, "There is hardly anything left to eat, only a little bread. What will we do when that is gone?" we must leave the children in the forest. This time we will take them deeper into the woods, so that they will not be able to find their way out. It's the only thing we can do. We can do to save us. The man's heart was heavy, and he thought, I would rather share our last breath with the children. But the woman had made up her mind, and she would not listen to the man. He gave in the first time and gave in the second time too. The children, however, had hardly everything. Then his present went to sleep. A present went to sleep. Hansel got up again to go out and pick up some stones, but he couldn't go outside because the woman had closed the door. He said to this little sister, Don't worry, Gretel, don't cry. Go to sleep, God will take care of us. The next morning, the woman woke at the children. She gave them each a piece of bread. It was a smaller piece of bread than last time. As they walked to the woods, Hansel broke the bread in his pocket and dropped little piece on the ground. The woman led the children deeper and deeper into the forest. She led them to a path they had never been before. Again, a larger fire was made and their stepmother said, Stay here, children, and when you are tired, have a sleep. We are going further to cut wood. When it was finished, we will come for you. When dinner time came, Gretel shoved her bread with Hansel. I shared because he had dropped his as they walked along. Then they fell asleep. Everything went by and no one came to get them. When they awoke, it was dark. Hansel said to his sister, Wait till the moon is up. Then we shall see the bread I dropped on the ground. The bread will show us the way home. The moon rose, but they could see no bread. The birds in the wood had eaten every piece. The children still tried to find the way home. They walked the whole night and all the next day, but they were still in the woods. They were tired and hungry, and they lay down under the tree and fell asleep. The next day, they walked more. They both knew that they were deep in the woods. If help did not come soon, they would die. Then they saw a beautiful Snow White bird sitting on a branch. It was singing so beautiful that they stopped to listen. When it finished its song. The bird flew in front of them. They followed it until it landed on the roof of a little house. It was a strange-looking house. When the children got closer, they were happy to see that the house was built on bricks. Its roof was made of cake, and its windows were made of sugar. Okay, Hansel said, let's have a good meal for a change. I will have a piece of the roof, and you have a nice, sweet wings. Hansel picked off a piece of the roof and began eating. Gretel stood by a window and ate some of it. Their voice called from inside. Who's eating my house? The children answered. The winds, the child of heaven, and quietly continued eating. Hansel thought the roof tasted very good. The tour of another big piece. Gretel took out the window and sat down to eat it. Suddenly, the door opened and an old woman came out. Hansel and Gretel shook with fright. They dropped their food. The old woman said, "Dear children, who brought you here? Come in and stay with me. You are safe with me." She took them by the hand and led them into the house. Inside, a good dinner was ready. Milk, cake, fruits, and many other things the children had never even seen before. Afterwards, two little white beds were uncovered. Hansel and Gretel lay down in them and felt like they were in heaven. The old woman, however, was not nice. She was really a witch. She called the children who came to her house. After she caught them, she killed them. Then she cooked and ate them. The witch could not see far, but she had a good sense of smell. She could smell humans from far away. As soon as Hansel and Gretel come near her house, she had laughed and said to herself, "I'll have them. They shall not escape." Early the next morning, before the children were awoke, the witch got up. When she said they're around, let's face the thought. She thought, what a tasty dish. Then she grabbed Hansel and carried him. Then she grabbed Hansel and carried him to a little stable. She put him inside it and he could not escape. He shouted as loudly as he could, but it was no use. Next, the witch went to Gretel and cried, "Get up, girl, and get some water to cook your brother something nice. He is outside in the stable and must be fattened up. When he is fat enough, I shall eat him." Gretel began to cry, but she was forced to do what the old witch told her to do. From then on, Hansel was given a lot of good food, but Gretel got only dry bread. Every morning, the old witch went to the stable and said, "Hansel, put your finger out so that I can feel how fat you are getting." Hansel would put out a bone instead of a finger. The old woman, because she could not see well, wondered why Hansel did not grow fat. After 4 weeks, Hansel was still thin. The witch decided she would wait no longer. Whether Hansel is fat or thin, I will care and eat him tomorrow. The tear ran down the face of poor little Gretel. "Dear girls, help us!" she cried. "If the wild animals had eaten us in the woods, we would at least have died together." When the witch had gone, Gretel ran to Hansel and told him what the witch had said. "We must escape somehow. If we don't, they will kill us both." Hansel said, I know how to get out. It have I have loosened the window, but first you must get here magic wand so we can save ourselves if she follows us. Bring the fruits that hang in her room as well. Gretel got both the wand and the fruit, and the children escape. When the old witch came to see whether dinner was ready, she saw they had escaped. She ran angrily to the window, thought her eyes were bad. She could see the children running away. He quickly put on her magic shoes. The shoes could cover several years with each step. She quickly caught up with the children. Gretel, however, had seen her coming. She used the magic wand and turned Hansel into a lake. She turned herself into a swan and stayed in the middle of the lake. The witch sat on the shore and tried to get the swan to come to her by throwing pieces of bread to it. Gretel did not go near, and at last the witch went home without the children. The Gretel used the wand to change herself and Hansel back, and they traveled on through the night. Gretel then turned herself into a beautiful rose in the middle of a beautiful rose in the middle of a thorny hedge. And Hansel sat by the side. Soon that witch came along. She acted as if she did not know Hansel. "Young man," she said, "may I pick that beautiful rose?" "Oh yes," said Hansel. She went to the hedge in a hurry to gather the flower, knowing that it was Gretel. Hansel pulled out his flute and began to play. The flute was a magic flute. Whoever had the flute had to dance whether he wanted to dance or not. The old witch was forced to dance on and on. She could not stop to pick the rose. Soon the thorns tore the cloth from her body and caught in her skin. Finally, she could not move. Then Gretel used the magic wand to set herself free again, and she and Hansel set out for home. Another, traveling a long way, Gretel grew tired, but the children lay down to sleep. As they slept, the witch, who had escaped from the thorny hedge, came by. She her magic wand. She picked it up and turned poor Hansel into a deer. She then decided to leave them in the woods to be eaten by wild animals. It was too much trouble to try and get them to her house again. When Gretel woke and found that had happened, she cried for poor Hansel. Besides here, tears rolled from Hansel's eyes too. Gretel said, "Rest, little dear, I will never leave you." She took the poor dear with her as she tried to find her way home. At last they come to a little house. When Gretel found that no one lived there, she decided she and Hansel would stay there. She made a soft bed for the deer. Each morning, she went out and gathered food for a bath of them. The deer ate out of her hands, and they played happily together. In the evening, when Gretel was tired, she laid her head on the deer and slept. If Hansel had had his own body, they would have led a very happy life. They lived like this for years, and Gretel became a young woman. One day, the king came to hunt there. When the deer heard the noise of the hunt, the dog, the horses, and the huntsman, he wanted to see what was going on. "Oh, sister," she said, let me go into the woods so I can see what is happening." He asked so often that at last Gretel let him go. But she said, "Be sure to come back in the evening. I shall close the door to keep out the huntsman. But if you tap and say, 'Sister, let me in,' I shall know it is you. If you do not speak, I shall keep the door closed." Hansel ran away as fast as he could, jumping high in the air in his happiness. The king and his huntsman followed the beautiful animal, but could not catch him. Each time they thought they had him, he would jump over a hedge and be out of sight again. When I was dark, Hansel ran home and said, "Sister, let me in." Gretel opened the door and he jumped in. He was soon sleeping soundly on his soft bed. Next morning, the hunt continued, and when he heard the noise, the deer said, "Sister, open the door, I must go." Once again, the king and huntsman followed the little deer. The hunt lasted all day. Near evening, one of the hunts hit the deer in the foot. Although he was hunt, Hansel got hurt before he was caught. The hunter followed Hansel and heard the little deer say, "Sister, let me in." The man saw the deer go inside the house. The huntsman ran to the king and told him what he had seen. Tomorrow, said the king, we should have another hunt, and this time we shall catch this deer. Gretel was very upset when she said that Hansel was hurt. She washed the blood away and put some magic on his foot. Then they went to sleep. In the morning, there was no mask anywhere on the deer's foot. When Hansel had the hunt starting again, he said, I must go, Gretel, but I will take care they don't catch me. But Gretel was still upset from the night before. I am sure they will kill you this time. I will not let you go. I shall die, said Gretel, if you keep me here. Gretel was not happy, but she had to let him go. And he quickly ran off into the woods. When the king saw the deer, he said to his men, follow his all-day log until you catch him, but do not hurt him. The deer was too fast for them. However, when evening came, the king told him when to stop. Show me where the little house is, he said to the man who had followed the deer the day before. When they got to the house, the king knocked on the door and said, Sister, let me in. The door opens and the king went into. He saw the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. Gretel was very frightened. Gretel was very frightened. When she saw that it was not the deer but a king who had entered her house. But the king spoke kindly. After a while, he took her hand and said, Will you come to my palace and be my wife? Yes, replied Gretel. I will come to your palace, but I can't be your wife, and my dear must go with me, for I can't part with him. Well, says the king, he should come and live with you all your life. He will have everything he wants. Just then the little deer came home. Soon everyone was ready to leave. The king lifted Gretel onto his horse, and they rode to his palace. The deer ran happily behind them. On the way, Gretel told the king her story. He knew the old witch, and he about way and sent for here the next day. He orders here to change the deer bark into human form. When she saw here dear brother, again Gretel was very thankful. She granted to marry the king. They lived happily for the rest of their lives. Rest of their lives. Hansel became the king's right-hand man.終わりです。おやすみ。